Hello and welcome to Redmen TV. It is the build-up show, Liverpool versus Watford at Anfield. In the Premier League, the only team of the big teams in the Premier League to play this weekend. No pressure, because all eyes will be on us in this regard. All eyes will also be on Chris Pajak, apart from when he looks in the mirror. Ste and Ross Chandley as well. Lads, let's get stuck into it. Chris, first and foremost, another game, another potential revenge story opportunity for the Mighty Reds.
Or another opportunity for Watford to score from corners. I don't know. Take your pick. Or it's an opportunity for Liverpool to show them that they can defend better than they did in the first game of the season, because it was an entertaining game of football for anyone who's not a Liverpool fan. Basically, we hated it. We hated everything about it, but there was still some good in that game. We're a much better side than Watford. We've shown that over the last few games and over the course of the season. And for me, it's not just about bouncing back from that Manchester United result from last week. It's about showing that Watford team that we can't be bullied anymore, and we're a different side to the one that you played in August, and making sure that they understand that, and we just smash them off the park.
Exactly. I think we've made a pretty good job of beating the teams we're supposed to beat this season stage. Certainly better than we have been for a number of years. But Watford will carry that result with them, and they will go into it thinking, still Liverpool. We know. They'll look to do similar things. Now, I'm not sure how many lucky deflections you can necessarily replicate in training, and they had a hell of a lot of them in that game. But they will go in. I think they'll go in thinking that they'll be nervous, because you should be coming to Anfield, coming to play Liverpool. But they might think they can get something, and hopefully that, like I said, that might G us up. It could play into our hands.
Yeah, it's difficult with Watford again. They've changed manager, because they always change manager. It's just that's their thing, that's their MO. So they're almost a completely different side, and I think everyone will come to Anfield at least thinking, the vulnerability of Liverpool is still there, and then it's up to us to wipe it up, wipe that off them. And for the most part, we have, to be honest. Very few people have come out to Anfield and got anything that massive, especially recently. And Watford, they're safe. I'd say they're safe in the league. They're in no danger of relegation, and their away form's terrible. So it's kind of like it's kind of the fixture you'd want at this stage of the season. A safe team who are absolute crap on the road, but you've got to just do your jobs. And we've seen lesser teams. West Brom are the worst team in the league, and they, by being organised, got something. Yeah. And West Brom have got the players, and they're a big physical side, so they can easily do it. I just think if Liverpool play at 7 or 8 out of 10, they'll win. Mm-hmm. But if they drop to 4s and 5s, then Watford can get something. So Liverpool just need to be honest straight away. Yeah. And I'd expect them to be so, to be honest, after last week.
And there's a degree to which, Watford were a bit crap against Arsenal last week, Ross. I think there's something in that for us as well. They are where they are. They're as mid-table as it comes. They've got very little to play for. They're safe. They're not going to get drawn into the relegation mire unless they absolutely collapse. And even if they did, there's far too many other teams who have stayed collapsed for a long period of the season. They're not going to push on for European places. Get a couple of goals if we can. Get them as early as you like. If you can go in at half-time with a couple of goals in the bag, you're then up to Liverpool to decide, I think, what they want the result to be. Do you go on for more, or do you decide let's keep some in the tank?
Yeah, I like to think, because there's no game the week after, but just go hell for leather and just go, actually, like you said, make a statement. I think there's the fact that we drew 3-3. There's the revenge from the weekend. Show, like you said, we can't be bullied. Don't put Lovren marking Troy Deeney for a start.
Yeah. Well, at least it's likely to be Troy Deeney rather than a Kaka, who absolutely battered us at Vicar.
But I said it last week as well. I think we made progress since that game against Watford. Mm-hmm. Both, you look at Van Dijk, Carrier, Sam Robertson as the main three. You're thinking that's where our fault was in a previous fixture. Yeah. And again, put that with the fact that they haven't really got much to play for. I think there's a cliche when people get to a certain amount of points, they stop, pick it up, don't they? Because what's the point? Unless they're fighting for World Cup places, and I don't think they are. Yeah. Then
it was fascinating watching the highlights back from it and putting yourself in those shoes. We went into that game thinking Sadio Mane was our best player at the time. We loved him more than anyone else. Mo Salah hadn't scored a professional goal for us at that point.
Where was Phil playing?
Phil was injured, mate, with his mad back injury. Shocking, absolutely shocking.
We should have known.
Should have known. But yeah, it's crazy to look back on that game and see the shoots of something. And you're dead right in terms of us moving on as a team. That We've evolved. You know, you can see the celebrations with Salah. Firmino and Salah don't have an understanding in that game. They don't look each other in the eyes when they're celebrating, that kind of stuff. Again, Sadio Mane was something else. We've evolved as a team, and this has got to be the chance for us to go out there and prove it.
Yeah, I don't know what I completely forgot about the whole Coutinho thing. You know, that day before the season started was a pricky thing to do. And
a pricky thing to do.
I tried to edit myself.
Yeah, that's fine. Never edit
I could have said
yourself,
words. That would have distracted that team. I don't care what anyone says.
Was the word going to end in ish by any chance?
T-Y.
T-Y, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Same word, but different ending.
Absolutely.
Completely different words.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, it would have distracted the whole team. I don't care what anyone says. You know, to do that day before your season starts. So we've evolved with people that are on there, but then everyone said when Coutinho went, we'd fall apart. I won't be. We've grown together since he's left, and those connections with Mane, Salah, Firmino, that link up, they just don't seem bothered that he's gone.
We smashed them here at Anfield last season as well, wasn't it? It was like a 5-0, 5-1, something like that. Yeah, I mean this is a side that we have demolished in the past. So I expect Liverpool to go out there and kind of like what Ross said there, just not take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's about building up confidence and stuff. And the one thing is, it's going to be a little bit of a test defensively for Roberto Firmino, because he was at fault for that Akaka goal. You know, Akaka just beats him completely on that corner. We did that Lucas Leiva video about it. It's like ingrained. I've seen it that many times. Like,
if you don't know what that video is, it's called Lucas Leiva Explains Zonal Marking. It's on the YouTube channel. Go and watch that, and you can see why how we conceded that goal.
Yeah, so you know, he still plays central of that zonal system at the back. He's now sandwiched between Van Dijk and the partner, whoever that is. I wonder whether Van Dijk makes that a little bit of a difference, but you know, the deliveries from Watford for those set pieces during that game, I remember just sitting there watching them back on wow, delivery every time above Firmino's head. It's going to be exactly the same. And listen, I want to see Liverpool change things up a little bit, because you know, I was disappointed at the weekend with us not reacting well enough in games at Manchester United. I expected this is going to be something that Watford look to do, and I want to see what Klopp's going to do to change that, stop that. It's
interesting, just going back what the starting 11 was at the first game of the season: Mignolet, Moreno, Lovren, Matip, Alexander-Arnold, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Chan, Mane, Firmino, Salah. We're going to be getting the lads to do their preferred 11s in a moment. But before that, we did a fantastic video this week with some of the Liverpool ladies. The Xabi Alonso Challenge is back. Second episode of the new series is a little sneaky peek.
Oh my god. I might just try and hit it first time, you know.
I was going to do that, but then I took a touch on the last one.
It's because it's either too fast or too slow.
Go then.
Are you criticising the ball?
Just talking tactics, just talking tactics.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick harder?
Nah. I just didn't know if to take a touch.
Yes, so!
Go on!
It's in!
Oh.
You're getting closer.
Yeah, fantastic video. Thanks very much for that. And if you want to check out more of what the LFC ladies are doing, they're actually in action this weekend in the FA Cup. Prescott Cable, so you can get down and watch them in the flesh and see if they do recreate the Xabi Alonso goal in the flesh because of us. Anyway, preferred 11s. Ross, Ste,
hello.
Chris, me, activate. Okay. You know what? Really interesting. Everyone's gone for Trent across the board. Anyone want to throw the reasoning out for that?
I'll go a couple of things. Firstly, you know, we had a bad game, get him back on. Yep. Don't let him dwell on it. Don't drop him for one bad game. You know what I mean? What's the point? And then also a home game, and you want his attacking threat over Gomez's defensive capabilities. But I think just to absolutely bomb him out after one game, one ball all season would be a bit harsh on him. And I think the man management side of me says, you know what, you probably best just pick him and let him go again.
Lovren though.
Well, that was my thinking. As I was going to say, I've put Lovren in. I've put Lovren in for exactly the same reason. I agree that Matip makes the most sense for the logic of, if everyone was in form, you'd probably play Trent and Matip in this game just for ball retention and passing ability. The Lovren one, I would slightly caveat that with, Troy Deeney will do his Arsenal-style, Cajones style, you know, tear around, try and bully people. Lovren could do with proving himself again, and also Matip I think is the most susceptible of our centre backs to being bullied physically.
Yeah, I've gone from it from our point of view. I think we're going to have a lot of the ball.
Yeah. 70% possession, I'd rather have Matip in.
Exactly, and take your chances with Troy Deeney. I mean, I'd rather worry about us than worry about him. That's just my thinking.
No, it makes sense. We've all got Jordan Henderson back in the team. Ross, bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think the amount of football that Emre Can's played recently is probably more than anyone. I'm right in saying you all know. It's just been ridiculous. I don't think he deserves to, but then just bring Henderson in for a bit of freshness in that midfield. But you're only making, say, 2-3 changes. It's not too. I don't think it's too many.
The Genie one's an interesting shot because he's not played footy, is it? And I must admit, I hovered with him and I thought, but what's he bringing? And that's the thing at the moment, you know, he was nicknamed the Ghost, wasn't he, for how he gets into great positions, but now that nickname's been kind of morphed because he's just not seen, do you know what I mean? And I like the Genie shout because I want him to come into the side and want him to do something to prove that he's still a footballer at Liverpool Football Club and that he can still do things.
I think he's kind of one of those ones where I've been generally pleased with his performances this season, but in recent weeks we have this debate every single episode, and it's always the midfield three, and at the minute Milner's in good form, Emre Can's in good form, Henderson's in good form, Oxlade-Chamberlain's not, but he's different to what else we offer. I guess Lallana being a doubt, I think we've all given him a pass on this one, but I didn't get Henderson and Chans up at the minute are two best midfielders, and then it's a case of what pick what you want. Do you want to be more attacking? I think if you put Genie in alongside them, you compromise on a little bit of attacking intent, aren't you? So
I don't think any of us have got the best midfield. You know, I think actually the best midfield might be Henderson, Chan, Milner.
Yeah, I'm for him. Yeah, I just think I imagine this game could be similar to the Newcastle game, and it was Oxlade-Chamberlain in that game, who his drive and runs forward were the difference.
When does the England squad? Has the England squad been announced?
No, it'll be Thursday, so tomorrow as we record.
So that could be a contributing factor because Milner's not gonna play international footy. He's only going to be there training, so you don't need to worry about him. Whereas if Chamberlain gets picked, I know he's missed a few squads, hasn't he? But there's a chance he'll go. That you might
I don't think Klopp's resting people now. This stage of the season, I think he's just picking the best team to win that game. Yeah. As we get closer towards Champions League games and stuff, maybe you think about that. But I think right now, especially with a week between games and
we say that though, but he does manage the fitness levels of the players.
I think
and if he thinks that someone's going to, like a Henderson, for example, if he's fit, and he will play for England in that spell. And if he thinks that one of our midfielders is going to go and play 2 games or whatever, or play our game and train like buggery for a week outside of his control, it might impact this thinking.
Yeah, possibly. I just think he'll want to listen. This game's too big to mess around with, isn't he? He just wants to go and win. I just think Oxlade-Chamberlain in home games against the bottom teams, I think that's when that's the value. That's when you're going to get value from him. Yeah. As I can imagine Watford doing very similar to what Newcastle did, like I said before. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, by pushing forward, he's probably the best of our midfielders at doing that. He makes 3 into 4 much easier than the likes of than Milner does or Wijnaldum does or Chan does, so that's why I chose him.
Cool. No, I'm perfectly down with any of the shout. I think it's the front 3 picks itself, and I think Milner would be unfortunate not to be in the team. Again, I don't think he's really put a foot wrong in any of the games.
No, and these are the exact type of games that every game's a game for James Milner. Actually, yeah. I take it back what I nearly said, and he's just brilliant every time he takes the field. He's never going to let you down. You know his delivery's going to be good. He likes to overlap. He seems to work well with Robertson and Mane. The lad's performing at a better level than probably all the midfielders at the moment, and I absolutely love him. I've got a proper man crush on him. Yeah, I'll bugger.
He's younger than both of us. Which is really, he's significantly younger than both of us.
He's got both of his eyes working.
Yeah.
And he's got his hair. Bell end.
So it's an interesting one, isn't it, this weekend, just because of the FA Cup fixtures. I say Spurs, Chelsea, United are in the FA Cup. Arsenal don't play because Leicester, they were meant to be playing, are in the FA Cup. It's one of those where we've said this a lot recently. Liverpool have been on the receiving end of this situation a few times. Go get 3 points on the board, sit pretty in third, I guess. Put the pressure to the best of our ability over to everyone else.
Yeah, game is under. A wonderful point on the board, or better, you know what I mean? And how many times have Liverpool been in that position where you're like, if we just win our game in hand, then we're only this, we're only that. Well, just go and win and then put that pressure on whoever that is. Tottenham's next game in the league is Chelsea. So that's a huge thing for Liverpool. If Liverpool can win this game and win the game that weekend as well when they're playing each other, that's massive. That's a 5-point swing at least for somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's huge this game. And conversely, if you lose it or you draw it, that gives them such a boost. The fact that they haven't even played and they've almost made ground upon you, that's a big one. So
I think I'm right in saying our next game's like the early kick-off as well, before theirs, before the 3 o'clock or the 5:30 or something. So you're even further ahead. Hopefully.
Yeah, you're doubling down, aren't you? We could get 6 points by the time they've all played. That's massive.
Palace away, early kick-off.
It's not good.
I'd rather early than late.
Actually,
I hate the Monday nights at Palace. That's what I hate. On frigging bank holidays when they've been bevying all day and the atmosphere is incredible.
And they don't care
That's what I hate about it.
And them fucking flags. Like, yeah, absolutely. No, completely agree. Before we do score predictions, just want to give you all a little heads up. We're going to do a live show on Friday for the Champions League quarter-final draw. And just another reminder that Man United won't be in the hat for that.
Why not?
Because they got knocked out by Sevilla, Chris.
What did Mourinho say about it?
Well, listen, we have to be careful because we're not in the FA Cup this weekend.
Is that harder to get into than the quarters of the Champions League? Because don't they give a place to everyone in England? But then, okay.
Also, what you got to remember is Manchester United have not been knocked out at this stage before by Porto and by Real Madrid.
Who was managing them?
I mean, he's been in that chair before, so it's fine.
Never forget.
It's fine.
Never
Is it
forget.
his chair or is it the club's?
Well, at the minute,
He's just keeping it warm.
yeah, maybe on before.
Like Van Gaal was keeping it warm for him.
Yeah,
and
and
Moyes for
probably
him.
having one eye on a chair in Paris, say. Anyway,
They got loads of money to spend.
funny that, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
It's mad how that works.
Well,
isn't it?
no, that happens, like. Anyway, yeah, we're going to do the quarter-final draw live in the studio on Friday, and we'll be doing a draw reaction show over on the redmentv.com, so tune in for all that stuff. But yeah, score predictions. Ross.
3-0.
I like that.
5-0.
Groovy. Chris.
I think it's going to be like Newcastle. I think it's going to be 2-0.
Okay, cool. I'll be honest, I could see a four or above. for
We're well
the Mighty
covered.
Reds.
We're well covered.
Yeah, comfortable. I think.
And United's got in the cup, anyone? That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
What you got to remember
lot
is
to
they've
say.
been knocked out at the quarter-final stage before. It's nothing new.
Anything can happen. That club's used
Are they playing
to.
away or home?
Chelsea, maybe?
Yeah, there's a good chance that Chelsea might have knocked them out of the FA Cup at some stage.
Anyway, listen, thanks very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you're watching these shows and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do it right now. We're very, very close and we might even be there at 220,000 subscribers. So yeah, very, very good stuff. Thanks very much. We'll be back post-match before then. As I say, Champions League draw and other good stuff on the redmentv.com.